I would like to ask the Chief Minister what actions have been taken to make available hard copies of the booklet, the Isle of Man Government's Brexit Guide, to those people without internet access.
Chief Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr. President. I recall answering a similar question from the Honourable Member in March when we issued the first version of the Brexit Guide. As I answered then, we made a decision not to print unnecessarily large numbers of copies of this online guide for obvious financial and environmental reasons. However, Cabinet Office has been distributing a number of copies of this important document to libraries across the island. Hard copies are also available on request from the Cabinet Office, and a number have already been sent to Manx residents who have requested them. We have distributed electronic copies to all public servants and also to all local authorities by email, and asked them to consider whether there are people around them who would benefit from a hard copy. I know, for example, from the Honourable Member for Ramsey, Dr Allinson, that all GP surgeries have received electronic copies in order for them to share pertinent information with their patients. In the same way, if the Honourable Member is aware of any of his constituents who need a hard copy version, I would urge him to help us to help them by providing a printed version of the online guide that I sent to all Tynwald members last month. I will, of course, do the same for my constituents should they need it to ensure they are ready for Brexit. Indeed, Mr. President, I would urge all of us here today to further share the information that Government has provided to their constituents to ensure that all island residents and businesses are ready for Brexit. This is all part of our drive to ensure that all corners of our island community are ready for Brexit. In the coming weeks, we'll be focusing our efforts on ensuring that we have done everything reasonable to achieve this. For example, we are working with the Manx Blind Welfare Society to produce a Braille version of the Brexit Guide, and we will also be issuing messaging in a number of European languages to encourage EU, EEA and Swiss citizens to apply to the EU settlement scheme. We continue to monitor the reach of the Are You Ready for Brexit campaign and are actively looking at ways of reaching all sections of our island community. Now, we've had excellent feedback on this guide, and it's a credit to all the team involved in doing it, including from the UK Minister for Dexu, Mr Duddridge, who said that it was as good as any material he had seen produced in the UK. Thank you, Mr President.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr President, and thank you, Chief Minister, for that incredibly positive answer. And I'm sure the librarian in Castletown will be looking forward to the arrival of the booklet very soon. Is the Chief Minister aware of how many people on Ireland are digitally excluded? In February 2016, the previous Minister for Policy Reform stated we currently have no definitive statistics in the Isle of Man about digital exclusion.
Chief Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. And yes, there are people who aren't online, and we have quite a number of silver surfers. But that is why we've sent hard copies out to libraries and have asked the local authorities who have had the electronic copy to print off any if they're requested. But at the end of the day, if I go and print 20,000 of these copies, Mr President, how many trees have I spent, and also the cost to the taxpayer. But I would like to give an update for the Honourable Member. Since the updated Brexit website pages were published on the 15th of September, to the end of September, the Brexit pages at gov.im/Brexit have been viewed approximately 11,000 times. In addition, the online Brexit Guide has been viewed 680 times in that same period. But if anyone has a constituent who they feel needs a hard copy, then I'm more than happy to have my department help out.